Hey everyone, Jason here, digital marketing consultant, and in this YouTube ads guide, you're going to discover the top 5 biggest mistakes new YouTube advertisers make when it comes to setting up and optimizing their campaigns. So if you're having any trouble with your YouTube ads, hopefully one of these will help you fix them. So timestamp table of contents in the description, along with some other helpful click-by-click tutorials on how to actually set up your campaigns. Here, we're just gonna focus on some common mistakes and how you can avoid them. And the very first mistake or problem that I get in the comment section of other tutorials is my campaigns have no impressions. If your campaign has no impressions after a couple of days, it just sits there saying, it's eligible, all your ads are approved, and you're just sitting there like, why on earth won't you take my money, Google? Well, it's probably because your targeting is too narrow or there are some conflicting settings. So when it comes to narrow targeting, sometimes when you're trying to target specific videos or specific channels, or if you're limiting your campaign based upon a language or a particular geographical area, there just might not be enough people for YouTube to actually show your ads to. And so what you'd have to do is expand your targeting or expand your geo area. Now, when it comes to conflicting settings, sometimes when you're setting up your campaign, the settings in your campaign can actually directly conflict with the settings in your ad group. So for example, if during your setting up your campaign, you decided to select that you only wanted to show up on YouTube search or suggested, then that might actually get in the way of your in-stream ads actually showing up. Also, you might find that sometimes when you try and use specific types of targeting with your in-stream or discovery ads, it winds up not working. So sometimes you'll try to run an in-stream ad and you'll be using a particular video or channel, and then you'll just get no impressions. So maybe if you switch it to a discovery ad, it might start working. So there's a lot of settings that you need to tweak in terms of what placements or targeting are you using and what type of ad are you using. So if you're not getting any impressions and it's an in-stream, try discovery with the exact same settings. If you're not getting any impressions with your discovery, try in-stream with the exact same settings, and then you'll be able to start troubleshooting. There is not going to be much help from Google support on this one. Now, the second big mistake that you want to avoid is driving traffic to organic videos. This is something that I think confuses a lot of people, so I'm going to show you the data behind why you don't want to do this, and then I'll walk through how to actually properly structure your campaign so you don't kill any videos on your channel that you've worked so hard to make. And this first example is a video where we ran in-stream and discovery ads. So looking at the blue line, that is organic, and looking at the orange line, that's going to be discovery. The middle pink line is in-stream, although that's not statistically significant enough for it to really matter because there was less than 100 views on this particular video. But as you can see here, the percentages just 47 seconds in, we already see only 9% of the discovery ad people are still watching. That is absolutely terrible. And of course, as we go down, you see the percentages just get worse and worse. And this isn't the only video. We'll go to another video here, same topic. You'll see that discovery just drops. And then here, it looks like only one person kept watching. And the same is true for this last video. Again, don't worry about the skippable in-stream ads because these particular video campaigns only had a couple hundred views on those. And once we tried to scale up the in-stream ads, the audience retention actually dropped below organic. Now, the reason this matters so much is because when you're trying to rank a video, you're trying to get a video to bring you in more views and subscribers, YouTube's algorithm is going to look at the total audience retention and watch time. It doesn't care if some of those bad audience retentions came from ads. It's going to take the entire average and then it's going to look at your video and go, wow, that's really terrible watch time. Look at all those people dropping off just within 90 seconds of the video starting. Well, this video sucks. Let's try another one. And that's what happens is your suggested and your search ranking is just gonna plummet to the floor. So what you need to do if you want to promote an organic video, if you find an organic video is doing really well, bringing in new likes, views, subscribers, you need to modify it and then re-upload it. So what you don't want to do is create a campaign and then just put the video ads as the videos that are already posted and then start running traffic. You don't want to do that. What you need to do is take those videos that are working, edit them a little bit so you don't get dinged by YouTube for uploading duplicate content, and then create a new campaign with those new videos uploaded. You can upload them as unlisted so it doesn't look like you have two of the same video, and then run traffic to those duplicated re-uploaded videos. That way you know that you're paying for videos that do a good job bringing in the right type of subscribers and views, but you're not hurting and jeopardizing your good organic standing and ranking. Now, the third biggest mistake you need to avoid at all costs if you want your YouTube ads to be able to be readable and optimizable at all is not mixing multiple channels in targeting or any type of targeting inside of your ad group. So if you take a look at this diagram, you'll see that you just want one audience per ad group. And I even go so far as to say only have one actual video per entire campaign, and then just have multiple headlines or split testing the same video inside your ad groups. Really, one audience per ad group. And the reason you need to do this is because if you don't, you're actually not going to be able to see inside of your analytics which audience performs the best. Now, if that doesn't make sense, that's okay. Let's jump into my screen and I'll show you a campaign or ad group that's set up incorrectly when I first got started, and an ad group that is set up correctly, so you can see the difference and how you can actually analyze this one, but not the first one. So taking a look here, this is the first campaign we're gonna go through, and I'm going to click on this top ad group. Now, and inside this ad group under placements, you can see that we're targeting 5 channels. Now, I've set it to all time, and what's interesting here is you can see that there's about 780,000 impressions, but they're only telling us about 753 of them. So if we're only targeting 5 channels and we're looking at placements and it's only telling us about 750 of them, where's the other, I don't know, 700,000 views or impressions coming from? Well, the way we would find out is we'd go to the next section in our placements, looking at where ads are shown. But when we click on where ads are shown, we have our 2 blurred out channels and then 779,000 impressions from YouTube.com. Okay, that's great. I know we're running traffic on YouTube, but how do you know which one of those 5 channels is responsible for which part of those impressions? The short answer is you don't, because multiple channels or multiple targeting options inside of one ad group results in things like this, where you're just not going to know which audience actually performed the best. So what you need to do is make sure that you only have one targeting per ad group. So now let's go to a newer campaign that we set up here. So each one of these ad groups that you're looking at, there are 4 ad groups, and each one of them only has one audience targeting in them, or one channel targeting in them. So if we went ahead and clicked on placements at the campaign level, you'd see that even though it's blurred out, there are only 4 channels. So we see that there's 68,000 impressions, but each channel that's being targeted is showing up as a 0. So if all of these were in the same ad group as in with the previous example, we'd have no idea which channel's performing the best. But good thing, because we made one ad group for each channel, if we go and click on where ads are shown, all of a sudden we can see a complete breakdown. Now, you'll see placement, it just says youtube.com. And even though the ad groups are blurred out, because there's only one audience targeting inside of that ad group, we know for sure that all 512 views or 2,700,000 impressions came from that one channel, because that's the only thing inside the ad group. So you can see the difference here. We're easily able to see which ad group is responsible for what number of impressions and views. But if we go back to our old ad group, we see that because we didn't segment all of our audience targeting, YouTube's just telling us we got 700,000 impressions, and who knows which audience targeting it actually applies to. And so that's why it's really important that you're very, very specific with how you set up your campaigns. Now, number 4 for YouTube ads mistakes comes to not looking at your competitive metrics, not getting feedback from Google on how you are doing. Now, there are 2 things you want to be looking at. You want to be looking at budget lost and rank lost. And this is in addition to the typical columns you have of views, impressions, clicks, conversions. Well, that's all great, fine and dandy. And then maybe you're looking at the percentage of video viewed, but these two are actually going to be direct feedback from Google telling you how far your dollars are going and how good or bad they think your ad is. Now, jumping back over to my screen here, you can see I have display lost is, and then I have display lost is budget. Sorry, so rank and budget. And the way you can add these is you can click on columns and then just come up here to modify columns, and then you'll come down to competitive metrics. There we go. And make sure you click on these. You can also click on some of these other ones, but these work best for when you're looking at your YouTube statistics. The other ones are much better if you're doing like search and display campaigns. But in this particular instance, what display lost is going to be telling us is essentially, of all the times we could have showed up, what's the percentage that our ad didn't show up because Google doesn't think it's relevant? And the higher this number, the worse Google thinks your ad is. The lower this number, the better Google thinks your ad is. Or, put another way, the higher this number, the worse your targeting it, the more off your targeting is, and the lower your number, the more dialed in your targeting is. And this is going to help you understand whether or not your video is relevant to whoever you're trying to show it to. And the lower this number is, the lower you can expect to pay. So if you're getting a low display rank lost, that means you could probably up the budget and be able to cut your cost per view, which I'll go through in a second. Now, with your display rank lost to budget, that's essentially telling you what percentage of the time didn't you show up because you just didn't have enough money to spend. Now, remember, YouTube is a gigantic site, right? So if Google is telling you that when you're spending, I don't know, $5 or $10 a day, and only 50% of the time you don't show up because of your budget, that's telling you that there's not a lot of room to scale. So you could increase your budget, but there will be times where your budget rank lost is going to be under 30 to 10%. That's telling you that you're pretty much maxing out how many times you can show up. So you either need to make a new ad that's more relevant so your display rank goes down so you'll actually get more chances to show up, or you just need to find a new audience. And that's just a brief overview of display rank lost and display budget lost. You can always click on Google's documentation to learn a little bit more about how they actually calculate these metrics and numbers. But generally, you want your rank to get as low as possible because that's Google telling you you're doing a good job with your messaging and your targeting. Now, the final one, number 5, is more of a mindset thing. And while it's the most important out of these 4, it's the least hands-on. So all of those other ones were tactical, and this one's pretty much going to apply no matter what type of advertising that you're doing. And this is approaching advertising as an experiment. So you're just trying things out over and over and over again. It's like testing hypothesis. You're going into a lab and testing all of your assumptions about your messaging, your market, your ideal viewer, your ideal customer. It's not, I put money in and then I get what I need out. It's not an ATM machine. You don't just stick in your credit card and then views and subscribers start coming back at you. It's an experiment where it's going to take 5 to 10, sometimes even 20 campaigns to get the results that you're looking for. So no matter what videos you watch, no matter what courses you buy or take, no matter what guru you listen to or expert you hire, advertising is at the end of the day experimentation. And so it's where you have to just check your ego at the door and go in with no assumptions and say, I don't know anything, I just need to test and let the data tell me what is working and what isn't. And I think that's the hardest thing, because especially if you're on a tight budget, you're watching a video like this and essentially saying, yeah, you know what, you might spend $5,000 and still not get the results that you're looking for in terms of your cost per view. We've had clients who've had to spend $10,000, $20,000 before their funnels started breaking even, or before the cost per new subscriber or cost per view in terms of what they needed to do and the overarching view of their entire business actually started to make sense. So it's an investment because you have to build your own machine. Eventually, yes, you can just say, I turn on this campaign and I get the money and subscribers that I'm looking for. That's awesome, but that doesn't happen within week 1 or 2, not let alone month, 3 or 4 sometimes. So there's a tremendous amount of patience that's required to be successful with any type of advertising. So just remember that when you go into advertising, it's an experiment and you're just testing everything. You never want to go into an ad campaign saying, you know what, I know this is the best ad, or you know what, I know that's my audience and this is who we should be targeting. No, you want to say, I think this audience is going to work, but I'm going to test these other 3 that I don't think are going to work, just so that the data is what's driving our campaigns, not my assumptions. So thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope you got some value out of this video, and one of these 5 is going to help you save some time, energy, and most importantly, money when it comes to optimizing your YouTube ads campaigns. Make sure you check out the links in the description to how to set up your campaigns click by click, and comment below if you have any questions. So go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more YouTube advertising tutorials just like this one. And until the next, keep building the business you love.